Welcome back, everybody. So let us do our third problem in our series. So this problem is merge to sorted list. Okay, so we are given a list, given two lists, 1, 2, 4, and 1, 3, 4. Let us read to the problem what they've asked. Let us see. So they have asked is that these two lists are given. So list 1 and list 2. We are given the head of these two lists, and we have to merge these two lists into a single list so that it is sorted. So 1 1 2 3 4 4. So 1 1 2 3 4 4. So it is sorted now. This is what they've asked to us to do. This is what they've asked us to do. So let's see how we can do this. If you all of you are familiar with the merge sort, if you are familiar with the merge sort algorithm, you know in merge sort we have two functions mainly, merge and merge sort, right? So the merge sort function is used to break the array into two parts. Okay, so divide the array. And merge function is used to conquer. That means after division we have to conquer. So we are getting the complete array. So basically we will implement the merge function, a sort of algorithm like the merge function for this problem. Okay, a sort of algorithm for merge function. So in merge function also we have two array, and we merge these two array into a single array which is sorted. These two arrays are also sorted within themselves also. So we merge these two arrays and then we get the sorted array. So how we can do this? So let's see in a simplified way. We are given the head of these two lists, right? We are given the head of these two lists. So it is a very intuitive problem and easy one. So list 1 is the head of this list and list 2 is the head of this list. Okay, let me just correct it. Okay, list 2. So basically until and unless, so first part is that, so at the beginning the first part is that while list 1 and list 2 is not empty. Okay, it's not equals to empty. I'm just writing the pseudocode that while list 1 and list 2 is not empty, what we will do is we will iterate through both the lists, and we are creating another list, another linked list where we will store this. And while iterating, which one is lower? So if list1 dot val is lower than val, so what we do is we enter list1 dot val, right? We enter list1 dot val in our output linked list. So list1 dot val is less than list2 dot val, or in either case it is similar. So 1 1, then increase it. So we iterate it. List 1 and list 1, they both enhances in their own lists. Though, so the guest go to the list 1 like this. List 1 equals to list 1 dot next, like this. Okay, so they go to the next value, and then I can see list 1 is less than list 2. Yes, so we will add list 1. So list 1 is going here, and then list 2 will go here. Then list 2 is list 2 dot next. Then list 1 is less than list 2. No, it is not less than. So we add 4 here, and then we add 4. So it's all over. Now the thing is that suppose we are given the lists of like this 1 2 3, and then we are given list 2 as 1. In this case, what we can do? In this case, what we will do is while these two are not null, we will iterate these two. So our output array will be like this 1 1. Then list 2 reaches null, right? List 2 reaches null. So we break out of this loop. We break out of this loop because list 1 has not yet reached null. List 2 is just in the second value. So then we do an if check that if list 2 is equals to null. So if list 2 is equals to null, in that case we iterate through list 1 until and unless list 1 is equals to null, and vice versa. Okay, this is a case. And if you are given something like this, that list 1 equals to 1 and list 2 equals to null, so like this, in this case if it is given, these are the edge cases. So In that case, we will return list 1 only. Okay. And while doing the entire problem, we will create another list. So the answer list, and where we will have head pointer and we will have a tail pointer. Okay, this is the head. This will be the head pointer and this will be the tail pointer. And at the end of our program, we will return head of our newly created list. Okay, so this is an easy problem and let us code it. So always remember the merge function is what we are doing actually. Basically, this is the from here the concepts come. So if you have not done merge sort, you can practice merge sort and see that how merge sort works. So in merge sort also a similar type of algorithm works. We are going to use a similar type of algorithm in this case also. In merge sort we use it on an array, and here we are using a similar kind of algorithm on a linked lists. So let's start coding. First, let us handle the edge cases, that if list 1 equals to null and list 2 equals to null, then we will return null. Okay. If list 1, so in this case, if list 1 is not empty, if list 1 not equals to null and list 2 equals to null, that means list 1 is not empty, whereas list 2 is an empty list. So you can see this case. So that's a reverse. So list 1 here, list 1 is empty and list 2 is not empty. So in our case, list 1 is not empty, list 2 is empty. So we will return list 1. And if list 1 is empty and list 2 is not empty, then we will return list 2. Okay. These are the edge cases which we have done. Okay. These are the edge cases. Okay. Now let's do the actual coding. So while list 1 not equals to null and list 2 not equals to null. So until and unless both of them have been null. So until and unless at least one of them is not null. Okay. While list 2 not equals to null, all list 2 equals to null, not equals to null. Okay. Either one of them, if it reaches null, we will break out of the loop. If either one of them reaches null. Okay. No. Okay, now slight correction. Uh, both of them have to be not null. Okay, so we have to use and. So when both of them are not null, we will be within this while loop. If one of them becomes null, then we will break out of the while loop. So while list 1 not equals to null and list 2 not equals to null. Okay, now let's see. Int value equals to 0. Let's take our value variable. If list 1 dot val less than list 2 dot val, value equals to list 1 dot val, list 1 equals to list 1 dot next. Remember iterating, otherwise we will have an infinite while loop. Else value equals to list 2 dot val, list 2 equals to list 2 dot next. Okay, let us create the node, list node. New node equals to new list node. Sorry, equals to new list node value. Also we have to take a head and a tail variable. So list node head equals to null, tail equals to null. Okay. If head equals to null, if head equals to null, in that case head equals to new node, tail equals to new node. Else tail dot next equals to new node. Okay, so this is done. After this we have to check whether either one of them, so either list 1 or list 2 has reached null or not. So if list 1 equals to null, in that case that means list 1 has reached null, so list 1 has gotten out of this. So list 2 is still remaining, so list 2 is longer than list 1 and list 2 is still remaining. So while list2 is not equals to null, while list2 is not equals to null, um, list node new node equals to new list node list2 dot val tail dot next equals to new node tail equals to new node, and list2 dot next. Okay, similar in the else case, else statement also, else while list1 not equals to null, list1 dot next. Okay, so this is how we can do this. So after this we can just return head. So let's see if this works or not. Let's try to run this. So it is running, so all successful. Let us try to submit it now. It is submitting, let's see. Okay, so it's submitted, and okay, so thank you.